Hello, welcome to the GenXplainers podcast. And today we have special guests. So, along with our normal panel, of course, who can't shake. But why don't I have the special guests introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Mandy. I am Alan's fiance, who's one of your regulars. And my name is Mandy.
Okay. And someone else.
Oh, it's me. I'm Tony, and I have the same last name as your host.
But you don't know it because it's quite secret.
But I have know it because it's secret.
So welcome to our guests. And today's song is brought by Mike. And why don't I throw it to him so he can tell you all about it.
Okay, well, the song I chose was Rilo Kiley's Portions for Foxes, which is from their third album from the year 2004. The album's called More Adventurous. And a lot of people know Jenny Lewis nowadays because of her solo career. She's become very big. But before she became a solo artist, she was part of Rilo Kiley. And the other person in the band who formed the band with her, Blake Sennett, is the guitarist and one of the main songwriters. She usually did the lyrics and he did the music kind of thing. And they broke up, I forget what year, 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. But they were, at the time of the peak, they were considered indie darlings. And on a number of major critics like Robert Christgau and others named like this album like their fifth best indie album of all time, and NPR Music dubbed it a masterpiece of songwriting, and so on. And then there's an alternative music site which is called Mellifo, which ranked it as the 28th best indie album of all time. But talking about the song though, Portions for Foxes, it's become one of their staples. It was one of their staple songs, and everybody, it was like the one they performed at their encores and everything else. It was like a really big song for them, and that appeared on a lot of different shows like Grey's Anatomy and a number of different popular shows. And so that's really the background of the song. There's not a whole lot I'm going to share on like the history of the band because it's all on Wikipedia anyway. So like I'm just, that's the basics of the song itself. Except that I did use this song because I've been playing it over and over for years since I first heard it, and it's one of those songs where I just know that I never got tired of it when I was listening to it, and it's just really fun indie pop for me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I had certainly heard of Rilo Kiley, like the mid 2000s. They were huge and on the scene. I didn't really listen to them much back then, and quite honestly, not even now too much. I listened to Jenny Lewis solo more. And as far as the song goes, I might have heard it before, but when you said the song and I saw the title, I'm like, I don't know what that is. But that's sort of my history with it. Not really familiar. Anyone else had heard of it before? Listened to it?
I've heard of Jenny Lewis, I've heard of them, but I hadn't heard of the song. My best friend from high school loves Jenny Lewis. But yeah, I'd never heard much of them. It sounds very 90s to me, very like intro to 10 Things I Hate About You or Reality Bites, or gives me that 90s pop vibe. But yeah, I like it. It's good. And again, I know Jenny Lewis more as an actress than a musician. Troop Beverly Hills and The Wiz.
Yeah, I was going to say you were a Troop Beverly Hills fan, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw the movie, so I can't really comment on the movie.
Yeah. She's the main Girl Scout.
Is that the one with Shelley Long?
Shelley Long, yeah.
She's Shelley Long and Craig T. Nelson's daughter.
5, 6, 7, 8. We're the girls from Beverly Hills. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shopping was our greatest skill.
5, 6, 7, 8.
After all is said and done.
1, 2, 3, 4. Beverly Hills is number 1.
Nice.
Apparently, Blake said it, the other person in the Rilo Kiley, he was a child actor too, apparently.
When I first listened to it, it kind of sounded like a demo to me, but the more I listened to it, it changed over. But yeah, I got very late teens, early 20s for me with the sound. Save Ferris or Letters to Cleo kind of sound.
Yeah.
Similar to both of you, I had heard of Rilo Kiley. Actually, I had a friend. This is back when I lived in LA. This is where they came out of Silver Lake. Who actually really liked them and was working on like directing one of their early videos. But like this was at a time when I wasn't really talking to that friend, and so Rilo Kiley kind of just went into that same file folder in my brain. So I just never listened to them.
The burned bridges folder.
We'll have to get that story later.
Yeah, that's a very interesting insight into this. Now I want to know more. That's a good teaser.
That's right. Well, maybe as these episodes unfold, we'll learn more and more about my mystery friend.
Maybe one day they can be a guest.
Maybe.
But only Patreon subscribers. Sorry for that.
That's right. Subscribe to Patreon and find out the name of my friend that you most likely have never heard of, but who is marginally famous.
I think I know who it is. But
I think you probably do. But so when I listened to this song, it was my first hearing, and I guess, are we talking about our history with the song, or just going to go right into like our feelings?
Let's shove our feelings down for a little while longer. But yeah, give your history.
I can do that.
You can do that. We'll totally do it.
So yeah, that's my history with it, is not having heard it before. So it's only been the last couple of weeks that I've listened to this song.
Okay. How about you, Tom?
Is your friend Corey Feldman? Is that who does that one?
You're too pretty to talk.
All right, Tom, what do you think? When was the first time you heard this?
Like I said, I probably heard it. I sounded very familiar, but there's a lot of songs that Mike likes that kind of sound like that. But I like the guitar a lot.
Yeah,
I like the guitar intro, and I like the guitar playing, and I like the lyrics are really good.
There's a pretty young thing in front of you, and she's real pretty, and she's real into you, and then she's sleeping inside of you.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like she's in some sort of relationship, and she's just kind of like, as bad as it is, she's sticking with it, kind of a thing. Yeah. But I do like the arrangement of it, and it does have that '90s vibe. So, and I always like a '90s vibe. I'm noticing a lot of songs that I like are of a '90s or earlier vibe. I don't really anything that's after, like, I think 2001. It better be really, really good. So, but I like these songs. I like all the songs that I've listened to. I really like this song. Is the cool indie song that's fun, and I do like it. I tap my toes when I listen to it. So yeah.
Well, when you mentioned the guitar, he is considered. Blake said it is considered one of indie rock's guitar virtuosos. So
But it's funny. It's like, for instance, like the Beths come to mind, and that guitar player, goofy as he is very, very good as well. He probably gets a lot from this Blake. Is Blake Sennett? Is his
Blake
name?
Sennett?
Yeah. He probably gets a lot of influence from him. I can kind of hear that. A lot of neat little turnarounds and stuff as he plays along the chords. Sorry, I'm going to get geeky musician guy.
That's fine. We need
super
that.
Cool.
Because we just make up stuff.
It is interesting that Mandy mentioned Reality Bites, because Blake Sennett directed a short film with Winona Ryder in it, which we showed at the festival, and he was there. So it was actually pretty funny that he mentioned Reality Bites, though. So he probably has been friends with her for a long time too. So he's probably comes from a lot of that scene. That
whole time.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we talk about the 90s. Like, I feel like a lot of the new rocker girls are gleaning from that sound, to where it'd be interesting to see if like Olivia Rodrigo has like influences from her, because I could hear a lot of that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that you mention it, I think it's funny because whenever we hear Olivia Rodrigo around the house, because my daughter loves her, I'm like, did she steal this from The Cure? Did she steal this from whoever?
Right?
And it's always like, wow, she's really taking stuff that she listened to, and I kind of like it. But,
Yeah, I super like her.
But I digress.
So as far as like our how we feel about the song when we listen to it for the podcast reactions, I'll just quickly do mine and then I'll throw it to someone else. But first of all, yeah, very catchy chorus, especially Bad News refrain. And I mentioned we had mentioned the indie production kind of sound, which I think we all pretty much like. I like it. Okay.
And it's bad news, baby, I'm bad news. I'm just bad news, bad news, bad news.
But it's the song itself, the lyrics and her delivery of the lyrics is very, very nice and pleasing, and I really like her. So yeah, that's sort of my take on the experience of listening to it. Really enjoyed it. Let's throw it over to Mandy. You want to say anything else about, or want to say something about it?
Yeah, again, just like a super put the music on, windows down, driving in the summer kind of sound. It's fun. Yeah.
Okay. Al.
Yeah, I think the music is great. It's really energetic, upbeat, and which is an interesting juxtaposition, because the lyrics, while delivered very kind of almost kind of purring, a little sexy in there, but it's really, as Tony was saying, it's about a kind of a stagnant relationship. But I do, if I have a note to give, and it's always harder to make a song than it is to criticize a song. I wanted to hear more about the Foxes.
Right. And what I don't understand, why is it called that? Like that was my question. Did I miss that completely?
If you listen to that part of the song, it doesn't matter. She's saying like it doesn't matter because we'll all be portions of foxes. So let's just go with what we're in right now and enjoy it, kind of thing. So
yeah,
and so you're like food, you die and you're going to be food for animals, kind of thing. At some point.
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of like
believe
what
it was
it is.
a biblical reference as well.
It is. Yes, it's Psalm 63:10. And
I was raised Mormon. We were reading the Book of Mormon, so we didn't focus on the Bible as much.
And
and
there was a lot of the special underwear. I don't.
Actually, yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Psalm 63:10 is, "They shall fall by the sword; they shall be a portion for foxes." So yeah, dead.
Okay, good to know.
And she even uses some other metaphors in it, like because you're damage control for walking corpse like me, like you, all that stuff. So it's like, right. She's saying the relationship is dead. It's kind of toxic, but I still need it, and I need your companionship, kind of thing. So that's but it doesn't matter because we're gonna die anyway, kind of thing. It's not a happy song at all, but the tune itself, the music is happy.
Yeah. Tony,
No wonder I like this song.
You mentioned a little bit why you like it, but what else? What other things do you want to say about the song before we get to the vote?
What Mandy said, it's like a poppy song. I love it. And I like songs that have like dark lyrics, but seem happy, because I like seeing people dance around happy to it and then realizing later that was dark. I love that.
Great. And then Mike, have you said everything you want to say about the
Yeah, pretty
song?
much. I mean, I again, this is one of the songs that I listened to just constantly when it first came out, and then over the years. So it's been on my list for a long time.
We hope you're enjoying this GenXplainers podcast. Please remember to find us and follow us on social media. And we'd much appreciate a 5-star rating on the podcast platform of your choice. Now, let's get back to the show.
And you're bad news. I don't care, I like you.
So now we've come to the time. Let's vote on whether we feel it's perfect or not. And Mike, you start. I think I know the answer.
I'm going to say yes, of course. Yeah. So I do believe. I think that the the structure of it. I like the unexpectedness where it changes the tempo at times, and the way it structures itself is really nice for me. And I do think it's the perfect song.
How Al? Wanna go?
I was really right on the fence with this one, but I think I am going to say yes, that it is. I really do love Blake Sennett's guitar work, the little flourishes, the fill, all of it. I am. The more I listened to it, the bigger of a fan I became.
Yeah. All right. How about Tony? What's your opinion on perfect
You know
or
what,
not?
Alan? You took the words right out of my mouth. Kind of on the fence about it, but I really do like the guitar playing, and I like the delivery. I just like it. I mean, it's like it's one of those nebulous things you can't. Maybe one day I don't want to listen to it, but the other day when I do listen to it, I would really get into it and just like crank it up as I'm driving, because I do. Yeah, I mean, so I'll say today it is a perfect song.
That's
Okay, we have a
sometimes
turkey. Come on.
Oh, not yet. We got to have a 5 turkey.
I know
Yeah.
we do.
That's very difficult.
So I had before this, I would have maybe said no. Like the more I did listen to it, and I think having the history behind it, because again, I'm ignorant to this band. I didn't know that Jenny Lewis was part of it. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but and I'd heard of them, and I just didn't put it all together. But listening to it more, having heard more about it, all of it behind it, I'm gonna give you a perfect song.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
It's up to Matt now.
And now it's up to the taskmaster.
Well, we're waiting.
yeah. Well, I have it. I was again on the fence on this because I really do love the lyrics, and I do love I love the song and the sort of the construction of the song and the sound of the song. The thing that kind of, and so I think it's going to come down to like my emotional response to it when I listen to it, like just that. Because everything else, I think on paper, yeah, this is a perfect song. And it was sort of a little bit about the production, like we talked about. It did feel of a time for me. So I was right there on the fence. And when I decided, right after I listened to it, or did my little listen and think about, I said, no, not quite. And I don't think my mind has changed, even though sometimes it does. I have to say, not just by a hair, I don't think it is.
It was so close.
I know. I'm sorry, but that's honest. That's my honest. It's a great song. I love the song, and not all great songs are perfect, and not all perfect songs are great. Oddly, but anyway,
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with this song, and it's very pleasing. But and again, maybe I'm trying to be a little more. In this case, trying to be like, oh, it's got to get a hurdle. It's got to be more of a hurdle than that, though, or something. But just a hair, not quite. But I love the song, so I've spoiled it again. So anyway, there you go. I mean, definitely a good song that people should check out. Any other final thoughts?
It was Madeline's favorite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, my daughter Madeline, of all the songs that we're doing on this recording session, this was her favorite. This was Henry's third favorite.
We have to do
both liked
So
it.
it won with the 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say that if people do want to listen to Rilo Kiley, this is probably their best album too. So just listen to the whole album, and it's great. And this and the next one after, or the one right before it, are the two best albums. So
well, that's one thing it did do is made me want to listen to more Rilo Kiley specifically. So
yeah,
and there's a win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. To be honest, it's actually not my favorite Rilo Kiley song, but I picked it because it's one of their most popular ones, and it was like their encore song, the staple song that people know them for. So that's why I picked it. There are other ones that I actually like more, but I don't think they would have been stuff that people would have really liked as much.
Right.
So I have a question, Mike. Is Jenny Lewis and like the Watson twins, is that similar music, or is it different, or?
It's different. I mean, each of her bands is very different in the sound, and I wouldn't say the genre, but I mean, nowadays people consider her sort of alt country a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
Yeah. But Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins. I don't even know what that was considered exactly, and it's just
okay.
I'm not sure.
It's probably the combination of her, the Blake Sennett guy, that gave it that sound anyway. I mean, if they're not playing together,
it was more indie. And then she had another band. Has another band called Nice as F***.
I love that name.
Which is more like a punkish sound. So
okay,
yeah,
you might know them from their single "Nice as F***."
Nice AF.
There you go.
Are we
That's the
allowed
way
to
we do it
swear
now.
on this?
I know. I
podcast?
wondered that too because I have lots of swears.
We do it all the time.
Yeah, if we do it,
I didn't notice.
If we
until-
go
Doesn't want
overboard
us
with
to,
it,
but we do.
right?
Okay.
I mean, sometimes what I do is I put a little bleep. But there's usually 2 or 3 swears get through. It's fine.
I just said it's the
I'm
name
going
of
to break the record
I just said it's
today.
the name of the band. I just said it's the name of the band. Come
That's
on.
fine. That's a good
Yeah.
argument. Well, YouTube has
And I
its,
was saying the name of the song.
has its codes of community conduct things, and I guess swearing's in there. I hear swearing, but
All
still,
the
I
time.
want to keep it. I don't want to have to deal with some sort of email from YouTube saying
You're
doesn't
swearing too much.
this doesn't conform to community standards and is being brought down. So I just want to avoid that. You know who gets to hear all the swearing?
Our
Michaela.
daughters.
No.
The Patreon subscribers.
Patreon subscribers.
You get to hear everything.
That's a bonus.
So, buck a month. Get on.
including all this banter right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
right.
this
We
is
invent swears.
getting on the podcast, but it'll be on the Patreon. Okay. With that, I want to thank everybody for coming on the show. And next week, we'll have another one for you. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.